YouTube, what the frickety fact going on? Your boy Philly, aka Philly Boy Wonder, aka your mama favorite African, and we got Druski in these allegations, man. Like, what the hell's going on? They're saying he in the same room with Diddy and Epstein. They saying he's in that lineup, him and OBJ or something. I didn't hear too much about it. I heard some loose shit. I guess he did some lube thing. I don't even know. All I'm gonna say is I don't buy it. But let's get to the bottom of this.
So Druski has been an up-and-coming star for around the last 4 years. He was ushered into the internet game around the same time as his good friend Jack Harlow, and it was like as Jack was rising up the ranks of music, Druski was rising up the ranks of comedy. During that time, he has become the most infamous skit comedian online, and this has obviously afforded him many opportunities, including his own show, countless sponsorships and commercials, features in movies, stake in Happy Dad alcoholic beverages, a feature on 2K, a comedy tour, and frequent collaborations with the...
Okay, I can't even lie, y'all. That's crazy. If you look at the shit that they just all put together in one little montage, bro, he has been on a run. He has been on a run. And look, I'm just saying this, man. The reason why I say I doubt this is because, look, I don't know Druski personally. I haven't even met the guy. I met a lot of people. I haven't met him, though. And just based on what I see, like, bro, what? Like, Druski, come on, man. Of all people, I'm going to let this play out and see what they say about the case and everything. But come on, bro. I just don't see it.
Biggest streamers and comedians in the world. Basically, this man became a cash cow, as Druski has an insane ability to take everyday situations and types of people and turn them into a viral skit or a meme. And his comedy just has this way of reflecting and predicting in real-life situations. But now Druski has found himself wrapped up in the Diddy situation, as he and his friend and popular wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., have been listed in some of these Diddy accusations. But the claims they are throwing around here are honestly so outlandish that it almost makes this hard to believe. Now, yesterday was when this bombshell would hit the timeline. In the matter of Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs, an amended complaint names 2 more plaintiffs and several additional defendants, including Odell Beckham Jr., Druski, and a myriad of other people. So previously, it was just Ashley Parham versus Sean Diddy Combs, and then a couple John Does that were not listed, and now those John Does, the main ones, have been listed as Druski and Odell Beckham Jr.
No.
In total, Druski's name is actually listed 45 different times in this lawsuit.
Damn.
But these are the key details that really make everyone think that this is pretty far-fetched. Defendant Diddy then instructed another defendant Doe to also violate plaintiff defendant Doe, who has been determined to be defendant Druski, is what they're alleging. They say instead of immediately violating the plaintiff, defendant Druski doused plaintiff with more oil and lubricant and then jumped on top of the plaintiff's naked and oiled body, treating it like a slip and slide, and knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size. So they're saying...
Nah, y'all are tripping, bro. This girl over here, is she trying to do a skit? Is this what she's trying to do? She said... I'm laughing so much I can't even read this properly. Druski doused the plaintiff, so the victim, with oil and lube and jumped on the plaintiff while she was naked and oiled up, jumped like a slip and slide, and knocked the wind out of her. This just sounds like some way to diss him for being fat, bro. I don't even... I'm sorry. It's just fucking crazy.
And knocking the wind out of the plaintiff due to his enormous size. So they're saying Druski was in there slipping and sliding all around. Defendant Druski then caught himself from sliding over the plaintiff's oiled body, and off the bed, he then began violating the plaintiff through her reproductive parts.
Oh, hell
While defendant Druski was violating the plaintiff, defendant Diddy sat in a chair near the bed and began pleasuring himself while recording plaintiff's violation by defendant Druski.
I ain't even see that part, right? All I heard earlier was a lube shit, but bro, you telling me that this girl is saying that Druski was basically R-wording a girl, right? And then Diddy's just in a corner stroking it. It's what you saying, bro. I'm sorry. Diddy probably a freak and he probably did some weird shit, but this is outlandish.
Another party's phone fell on the bed near the plaintiff. The plaintiff then attempted to grab the phone, but it slipped out of her hands and onto the floor due to the oil/lubricant that had been doused all over her person by defendants Diddy and Druski. Obviously, at this point, the baby oil is like infamous in this Diddy case. For those of you who don't remember, they claim that they discovered over 1,000 bottles of laced baby oil in Diddy's house.
That's weird. Fuck.
And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the Freakoffs. more than 1,000 bottles altogether.
That's
Defendant
insane.
Diddy began laughing at plaintiff's attempt to grab the phone. Throughout this violent gang violation, defendant Diddy made constant belittling remarks to plaintiff, including that he owned her now. When defendant Druski was finished violating the plaintiff, defendant KK entered the room to examine the condition of the plaintiff, who was barely able to move or control her bodily functions. And they say this is when they attached her to an IV and pretty much brought her back to life, made sure she wasn't going to die. And that was apparently when Diddy, Shane, who is apparently the man who introduced Diddy to this person, KK, Odell, and Druski then exited the residence to the backyard where they smoked marijuana and cigarettes. And so obviously this all had the internet going absolutely wild. Of course, people immediately started resurfacing old clips of Diddy hanging out with Druski.
Don't mind if I do.
They were basically
What
saying
the
that
fuck?
this clip hits different now.
Why did that look like the start of a horror movie with the sinister ass music?
It's also rumored that Diddy had been lacing drinks at his infamous parties.
I wouldn't.
This looks like the intro to a horror movie. Oh hell no.
Shut.
Oh hell no.
Druski was also asked at one point what it was like to attend these Diddy parties.
You ever been to one of Diddy parties? Yeah, I've been in attendance. I've been in attendance. Not, hey, what the fuck you smirking for?
You seen that?
I've been in attendance.
We just asked you regular
That's all I
questions.
said. That's all I said. I said I've been in attendance. I have been in attendance.
We never been. We just asking.
We just asked.
Yeah. As soon as you asked, he said,
You had fun?
I ain't seen that.
"Yeah, you did."
I ain't seen that.
Yeah, I had fun. Yeah, I mean, it was a party. I wasn't at one of them parties. I have been in attendance at a puff party. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I'm gonna just say this, y'all, because see, here's the misconception. This is something I learned after spending some of my time in Hollywood. Right now, obviously, I'm not no celebrity, nothing, but obviously being in LA, having a lot of connections, and being in a lot of rooms and doing a lot of industry work, I've seen a little bit more of the inside scoop compared to a lot of other people, right? And when it comes to these weird freak off parties, right? I'm not saying I've been into, that. I've never been to a Diddy party, nothing like that. But there have been a lot of times where I've been to what you could consider like a Hollywood party where there's just a room full of celebs. And the way a lot of these dynamics are set up is to where you're at a big house, right? Whether it's a penthouse, a mansion, whatever the case may be. And there's like a big section where everyone can be at, right? Whether it's in the living room and spots in the backyard, right? But then there's certain rooms that only certain people have access to, right? And this is kind of the understanding that I finally realized once I started getting into some of these parties was like, okay, I'm at the function. And there was probably a couple parties that I was at where I don't know. I don't know. But there was probably some freak-offs going on in some rooms that I never went to. You never know, right? And I feel like in this case, the same thing probably happened to Druski where like, yeah, he was in the building, right? He was at certain events and functions where there probably was freak-offs. He was probably at Diddy's house and Diddy was goddamn, freaking off in some different bedrooms. Probably. The odds of that are extremely high. Do I think Druski was a part of it though and he knew what was going on, all these different things? I don't think so, bro, because I'm looking at it from my perspective. And obviously, look, he's a big-time celebrity, so we have different experiences. But, like, I can understand a piece of his perspective because I've experienced a very similar experience. Where, like, yeah, I'm here, and I see a bunch of stars in the room, but I'm not doing no weird shit. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm trying to say. I got faith in Druski.
Yeah. The party I went to, it was girls turning up, you know what I'm saying? The regular, you know what I mean? Other celebrities and shit, yeah.
That's what you do.
Now, obviously, Druski does like to troll. Yes, his body language became a little bit uncomfortable. But you do have to keep in mind that thousands of different people have been to these Diddy parties, allegedly. And obviously, when they're all asked about it, they all say, well, I went to the Diddy party, but I didn't go to, like, the Diddy party. Like, the behind the doors party that was going on.
What did I just say?
Start questioning, what?
That's one thing I want. I'm sorry to keep pausing, y'all, but what did I just say? Right? Maybe I should have waited to pause. I'm pausing too much. I'm sorry. But also, like I said, now I think about it, I think I was able to go to a Diddy party years ago before he was, in this whole shit, right? But I didn't go because I don't really remember why I didn't go. I don't remember. But I remember having an invite to a Diddy party in Hollywood Hills. And I'm just trying to say, this is how it be, y'all. This is really how it be, where you be in these buildings and there's rooms you just aren't allowed to go into. Like I'm telling you, there'll be security guards posted up where they will verify you before you go into these rooms. So I'm just trying to say, Druski's probably one of them people.
Was Diddy's real relationship with Druski. And as you guys can see here, back in 2021, Druski did have this show called Sneaking In with Druski. And upon further inspection, you can see that this was airing on Revolt, which was a media network that was primarily owned and founded by Sean Diddy Combs. And although he no longer owns any shares in the company, back in 2021, he was still running that shit, and he presumably gave that opportunity to his boy Druski. I also thought that this little tidbit was interesting because Odell Beckham Jr. and Druski have been friends for quite a few years now. Baltimore Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. struck up a friendship with Druski upon finding his videos and invited the comedian to stay at his home during the COVID-19 pandemic. And obviously, the pandemic was back in early 2020, and that's where these dates really start not matching up because the defendant is saying that this happened on March 23rd, 2018.
What?
Right before Druski was even remotely famous or known online.
Popping at
where
all.
the defendant says that this guy Shane invited the plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he stated he was weak and unable to open his medications.
This is what I'm saying,
She says upon her arrival that this guy Shane wanted to give her a ride in his new car. And she says this is when this guy Shane pretty much set her up for the violation that allegedly involved Diddy, Druski, and OBJ. Now, much like with Jay-Z with his recent Diddy accusations, Druski would respond swiftly to this filing, where he says the allegation is a fabricated lie. I wasn't a public figure in 2018. I was broke and living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation, so the inclusion of my name is truly outlandish. My heart breaks for actual victims of abuse, but I'm fully confident that the evidence will expose this falsehood and the individuals who are maliciously trying to game the legal system to peddle false narratives. So he kind of has the same stance that Jay-Z had back a couple months ago, saying this whole thing is a bunch of bullshit and the timeline isn't even really adding up. And of course, when something like this comes out, you're going to have a lot of people running with the story. Like this tweet that went viral where this girl says, I can't believe hashtag Odell Beckham Jr. and hashtag Druski are in this new Diddy lawsuit taking turns violating this girl. Wow. You had other popular hip-hop and media pages saying...
Oh, see, this is the problem I have with the fucking internet, bro, and Twitter and all these social media platforms, because they will hear one allegation, and I've seen this so many different times. The same thing, like I said, with Jay-Z and so many, because think about it, in the past 5 years, 10 years, we've heard so many different allegations get thrown out for shit that people have done. And yes, a small 1% of them have been true when it comes to the Epsteins and the potentially Diddys and etc., right? But majority of them are bullshit, right? Because a lot of these people, and I'm not saying all people, right? But I'm talking about specifically when it comes to these allegations that happen in the celebrity world, it's typically just because people are trying to get clout and status of somebody's name, right? I'm just being real with you, because how many times have these cases fallen through over and over and over again? And then you got motherfuckers like these who come straight to the internet to get engagement because they see a relevant topic and they're like, oh my God, Druski did this. Oh my God, they're doing this. No way. This is blah, 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 blah. Like, it's crazy. And I swear to God, we live in a society now where it really feels like it's guilty until proven innocent. If you really think about it, because the internet spreads like wildfire. You hear one allegation, everyone treats it like it's true. And that's what pisses me off, because I just can't stand to see people that I support go through this. Now, obviously, if it's proven true, which I highly doubt, but if it's proven true, then yeah, fuck them. Lock them up, throw the key away, obviously. But that's a different case for a different day, different story for a different day. But I just pray to God that this shit doesn't happen to me when I pop off. Because I'm a good guy. I don't be doing no weird shit. I've always straight true to God, and I always think that the right thing is going to happen to the right people, man. So it's like, I pray that they make it out, and I pray this shit don't happen to me when I go up. That's all I'm saying.
Did what? The same sentiment is shared here, ironically including this misinformation meme. Then you had people using Druski's own skits against him, like this guy who says there's no way that this Druski shit is real. Basically saying that was Druski's reaction to this information. Another user says Druski after someone didn't give him consent.
Oh my God.
This guy specifically seems to really be leading the charge when it comes to these Druski jokes about this very serious situation. He says Druski's lawyer right now.
We got good and bad news. Good news, we got your payment, buddy. Bad news, they gave you life. Sayonara.
So yeah, it's just crazy to see this guy's own skits and various statements being used against him at this point, even if it is a joke. These are the type of things that people try to get off online, and they do end up going viral. And it's really all just for a couple little Twitter shekels and a little bit of clout. Like, it's not worth making this type of weird, shitty joke, whether you believe he's guilty for some reason or not. Because honestly, I think it's a whole bunch of nonsense. And it leads to other people making more serious statements like this. Okay, so now that Druski was named in the Diddy lawsuit for a gang violation, this creepy skit he made in 2022 about guys getting girls drunk to have sex with them is aging so horribly. And it's like, does the person that posted this not understand that the entire point of this skit was to pretty much dog out guys that act like this? Like, the whole point of the skit is to say that guys who act like this are pieces of shit. Now, here is a clip from 4 months ago of this news network and of the lawyer representing this woman, Ashley Parham, in this case, and now these other two Jane Does, speaking on behalf of her client and the entire situation.
Well, her attorney says she was in her 30s at the time of this alleged violent attack. It happened just about half a mile away from the Orinda police station here in a quiet neighborhood about 6 years ago.
Orinda?
So yeah, 6 years
That's
ago,
near my old
before
town.
Druski was known at all.
Ashley Parham says in 2018,
what the hell?
Diddy and his entourage violently gangbang style her in Orinda. Her attorney,
What?
Ariel Mitt.
Hold on. Okay, I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm like laughing in disbelief because Orinda is like 20 minutes from where I'm from. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. I'm from East Bay, so it's like that's I did not know that. What the hell?
Says it
Ain't
all
no
started
way.
when she met a man named Shane Pierce in a bar in Contra Costa County.
What? I'm from Contra Costa, yo.
She actually made a quip about Mr. Combs having something to do, that she didn't like him because he had something to do with Tupac's murder.
The lawsuit says Parham believed Pierce invited her over to set her up to be by Diddy. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office told us in a statement, a report was taken on March 23rd, 2018. We take these cases seriously, and detectives thoroughly investigated the accusations. It was later determined the claims were unfounded.
And that does make things a little bit more interesting for me because obviously a legitimate report was made at that time, but even back then the police say, well, we found no wrongdoing. As a matter of fact, they're saying we don't believe this ever even happened.
She also reported the incident to Walnut Creek Police and Orinda Police without naming Diddy, as she felt she would not be believed. The woman who lives there confirms Pierce lived there, but that he was too sick with cancer and ALS to have done this. She also says Pierce did not know Diddy.
So they're saying this guy has not only cancer, but also ALS. Now, if I really want to get into my conspiracy bag, I want to note here that I think that this all could just be a mastermind smokescreen being set by Diddy and his legal team. It's like Pokemon, okay? The accuracy goes down once you set the smokescreen. Because recently, the case against Jay-Z has been dropped without prejudice, which I believe means that they cannot, try to bring it back up in court. They cannot try Jay-Z again for the same thing. Obviously, there was a lot of holes in the timeline of that story. The accuser's own father said that he doesn't remember any of that taking place. And overall, the timeline and the series of events, especially when she came out on that news segment, just really were not adding up. And when the decision by the judge was made public and that entire thing was dismissed, Sean Combs' legal team would put out this statement. Today's complete dismissal by the 1-800 attorney is yet another confirmation that these lawsuits are built on falsehoods, not facts. For months, we have seen case after case filed by individuals hiding behind anonymity, pushed forward by an attorney more focused on media headlines than legal merit. Just like this claim, the others will fall apart because there is no truth to them. Sean Combs has never essayed or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. No number of lawsuits, sensationalized allegations, or media theatrics will change that reality. We will continue to fight these baseless claims and hold those responsible for these false claims. This is just the first of many that will not hold up in the court of law. And that's why I have the feeling that this entire thing is a bit of a smokescreen. Because if you have enough of these outrageous allegations coming out, it allows you to kind of start poking holes and giving a little bit of reasonable doubt to accusations that could actually be legit. And it's like the more outlandish they get, like describing Druski as using her as a slip and slide and then the timeline not adding up at all, it just hurts the case for people who are possibly actual victims of abuse at the hands of P. Diddy. And at this point, it's like Diddy seems so seemingly stuck in this corner that it's like that's all they can do to kind of alter the public perception a little bit. And as these cases start getting knocked down and dismissed, it kind of starts the social programming and people start to think, well, maybe these other things aren't real either.
That's
and
not a bad conspiracy.
On the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have a whole bunch of people just bringing up false claims because they want a payday, they want a settlement. It's just the way they describe the entire series of events just seems a little bit too outlandish for me personally to believe. And I think that it could definitely hurt real victims in this case. Either way, I want to know what you guys think about these accusations down below. As always, I also want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman. And some other lawsuits out here need to be covered. So I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I never thought about that. That is that's crazy. I literally said the same thing at the beginning. Allegations sound like a skit. That's so funny. Yeah, they literally sound like a Druski skit. but yeah, like I never thought of it like that. That's really interesting. This Jamari guy, he onto something. I like this guy's channel actually. I fuck with him. But a conspiracy where he's using a smokescreen, where maybe Diddy's pulling the strings on all these insane cases that he knows won't get proven. So that way it brings a shadow of a doubt into his own case where it's probably true. Because like I've been saying for a while, like I think Druski, what's his name? Diddy is not really the best person, because there's that video of him beating the brakes off Cassie, which was already enough for me to throw him in jail, for real. I do not support domestic abuse. That is horrible, right? Horrible person for that. And the baby oil, that's weird as shit, right? So I do think obviously he's not the best person, and he probably should face some form of time or some form of something, right? But in terms of like the human trafficking and like the SAs and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't really get the vibe that Diddy is an Epstein type figure. That's just my personal guess. I could be completely wrong if it's proven in court for real. But I feel like he's more just a weirdo who does some fucked up shit that needs to learn from his consequences. Or learn the consequences of his actions, I should say. But in terms of the crazy shit, I don't know. I'm curious what y'all think. Y'all should let me know in the comments, because if y'all made it to the end of this video, then y'all probably get a comment, because, you know, y'all are some real OGs and I love y'all. So let me know what y'all think. Y'all think Diddy innocent? Y'all think Druski innocent? Y'all think OBJ is innocent? Or y'all think they belong in the slammer? Let me know. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, my babies. I love you. Peace out.
Shade on my neck is so bright like a bee. Ballin' LA and I feel like Kareem. Run up a mill at my nigga named me. Know that the money is all that you see.